We are glad to see you again on our channel. And today, we have a review of the film in which Grace, a young girl and bride, is marrying Alex from a wealthy family. The girl does not yet know what she will have to go through in order for her husband's family to accept her. The boys, Alex and Daniel, brothers, run along the corridor of the house. Daniel purposefully leads Alex to the closet and tells him to hide inside. Only the older brother closes the closet doors as a man runs up to him and asks for help. The man says, "They're going to kill me," but the boy shouts, "He's here." And members of the boy's family come into the room wearing masks and guns. One of them shoots the man directly. A girl in a wedding dress tries to stop it, screams and cries. The man is lifted from the floor and dragged to the room. A woman takes off her mask and tells Daniel that she is proud of him 30 years later. Girl in the wedding dress, Grace, sits in front of the mirror and rehearses the oath. She says the groom is from a family of rich people who terribly frighten the girl. She also says the groom's father hates her, and the alcoholic brother is always hitting on her. Grace lights a cigarette and says she can't wait to fit in with this slightly family. Grace. At this point, Alex, her fiancé, walks into her room. The guy tells the girl that she is adorable. He also says if she smokes in his nursery, then she needs to share and takes a cigarette, having a drag. Alex says it's time to go to the guests. Grace notes that his father is like at the funeral and thinks that the girl only needs money. Alex, with a smile, says that it is. The couple laughs. Alex asks the girl to give his family time because they are not used to it. In the parents' tradition, they should go out for 3 years, and the couple decided to sign after 1.5 years of love entertainment. Alex says he doesn't care what they think because they're terrible people. Grace wants his family to accept her. Alex. In their room enters the groom's brother Daniel. He makes a game capture of the younger brother. Then he says that Grace can still escape and that she does not belong here, clarifies that it is a compliment. Daniel recalls that in half an hour he is waiting for them downstairs and leaves. Daniel. Grace does not believe that he will soon become part of the game dynasty, the dominion of the family. Alex says that the brother is right and they can still escape. On what the girl replies that will go to the end. Alex clarifies whether she is ready, and Grace replies, yes. Grace is photographed on the street. Alex's father tells Daniel that his brother deserves more. Daniel says his brother is his father's favorite, to which his father replies that he loves everyone equally. His father tells Alex that 2 years is a long time, and he has already decided that he has lost him. Daniel is photographed with his wife, and she says that Grace is cute, but will not become one of them. Daniel agrees, noting that the girl has a soul. Tony. Becky approaches Grace, advises her to stand proudly and don't listen to anyone. There's a wedding ceremony. After the ceremony, Grace and Alex go to the room. The girl asks Alex if he remembered anything for the day, and the guy says that they seem to have married. The couple begins to kiss, when suddenly Grace notices a silhouette in the room. Alex tells Aunt Helene that it would be possible to give them a few minutes. Helene replies that she needs to hide better. She says that everyone is waiting for them and leaves. Alex says that personal boundaries are empty words for her aunt. Grace asks why there is a secret passage through which the aunt came. Alex says that it is a corridor for servants and they are all over the house. Then Grace asks why they are waiting. Alex says that there is a tradition in the family. At midnight, you need to play a game with a new family member. It's a lottery and any game can come up. He explains to the girl that the family made a name at the games, so she needs to play once and then she will be accepted into the family. The girl is surprised that she doesn't even have to win and says that if after that she will be accepted, she will destroy everyone. Grace asks for 10 minutes to clean up, and they agree to meet in the music room below. Helene. The father finds Alex and asks what he has already told his wife. Alex replies that nothing and tomorrow they disappear. Father asks if he is ready to do what he should if she draws that very card. Alex quietly leaves. Grace goes downstairs. There she is immediately intercepted by Becky, and the later says she did not know that the girl grew up in foster homes. Becky also says that Grace immediately liked her and asks her to persuade Alex to return to the family. Becky. Fitch, the husband, a drug-addicted sister, Emily, enters the room with his sons. He greets Alex. It's 5 minutes to midnight, and the whole family is headed to the game room. Tony reveals that their ancestor Victor owned a modest playing card printing house during the Civil War. His grandfather then expanded the range to sporting goods and board games, and under the direct guidance of Tony, the business has acquired 4 sports teams and has reached great heights. The man says that they have a patron. Tony's great-great-grandfather was originally a merchant marine who lived in poverty and dreamed of making money. During another voyage, he met Mr. Labille, who bought antiquities and resold them to the Americans. Sharing a passion for gambling, great-great-grandfather and Mr. Labille played cards for hours. Tony shows the box and says it was in the man's collection. Mr. Labille once offered his great-great-grandfather a bet. If he solves the puzzle of the box before arriving at the port, any of his undertakings would be financed by Mr. Labille. Of course, the great-great-grandfather began to study the box. It is since then when the family is introduced its new member, an empty playing card is placed in the box. Then the newcomer of the family pulls out this card, and it already indicates the game to be played. The butler Stevens, in parallel with the story, puts an empty card into the box and brings the box to Grace. The man says it's her turn. Grace pulls out the card. It's written the game hide and seek. The girl smiles and shows the map to others. Everyone is silent and looks at her. Tony says that it means to play hide and seek, and Grace has to hide. Alex whispers to the girl's ear that she should immediately ran to their room, to which Grace answers, "I want to play by the rules." Tony tells Grace that she can hide anywhere, and they count to 100 and look for her. The girl notices cameras around the house, but the man claims that they play like in the 19th century and do not use them. He also states that the girl will win if she holds out until dawn. Stevens plays a record with music. Grace begins to hide. The family picks up a gun at this time, guns, axes, etc. Becky approaches Alex and says that he should not participate. Grace is already hiding in the kitchen elevator. Alex gets up and goes upstairs to the room. Fitch asks Becky how this game usually goes, and Becky tells him that the game has only been played once since she's been in the family. Grace decides to stop sitting and crawls out of the elevator. At the same time, a maid comes out of the room on the floor who put the children to bed. Alex drags his wife into his room. They hear footsteps and hide behind the bed. At the same time, a maid comes here. She looks in the room for the boys who have run away. Not finding them, the maid is about to leave, but Emily shoots her and takes her life. Grace watches all this from the shelter. The rest of the family rushes in and says that it is the living bride who is needed for the ritual. When everyone finally leaves and carries the body away, Alex explains to Grace that hide and seek is the richest card, and the family believes that they should deprive the girl of life before dawn. Grace is shocked, and Alex just leads her somewhere where the pipes are. He asks her to change into her shoes, and then says that the family believes that if they don't kill Grace, something bad will happen to them. Alex explains that he played along, but get out when the house is locked down will be difficult. The guy says that such a card was drawn only once, then Helene's husband died. Alex did not think that it would be like this. He says when someone joins a family, he or she has to play, and if not, they lose their lives. Alex tells about some relatives who refused and says that he is forced to play. Grace is angry that the guy said nothing to her. Alex justifies his silence by saying that the girl would leave if she knew everything. He says Grace is the love of his life, and he will do anything to get her out. Alex tells Grace to run along the corridor to the end until she reaches the kitchen. Meanwhile, the guy goes to the security room to open all the doors. As soon as he succeeds, he tells Grace to run as far away from here as possible. Alex kisses the girl, says he loves her, and leaves. Grace walks down the hallway and exits, running directly into the family. Emily shoots the girl, but misses. Grace escapes. In one of the rooms, Grace meets Daniel. Daniel comes in for a bottle and tells the girl that he must call everyone. She replies that he can help her. Daniel says that she is finished anyway. He also says that he is sorry and that it is true to say the rich have their own quirks. The guy says, "I give 10 seconds a head start." Grace runs away. Charity runs into Daniel's office and says that he missed Grace. The guy tells her that they will still find the girl. He also recalls how Charity reacted when she found out about the family games. The whole family rushes into the office. Emily says she forgot her gun, and Fitch gives her his crossbow. Emily grabs him and shoots another maid who enters the office. The family decides what to do next, and Becky offers to use surveillance cameras. Tony agrees and says that his great-great-grandfather would certainly have taken advantage if he had them. Becky gives instructions. Tony with Daniel turn on the cameras, and the rest find Alex and keep playing. Grace runs into the room where it all began and removes the gun from the wall. Alex gets to the security room and looks for how to open all the doors. Grace comes to the kitchen and waits for Alex to open the door. At this point, Stevens enters the kitchen. Grace hides from him and then gets up and threatens an automatic rifle. Realizing that the weapon is discharged, the girl hits the man on the head with a kettle from the table and runs away. Tony and Daniel break into the security room where Alex is. Alex smashes the equipment, and Tony and Daniel break into this room. Alex begins to strangle Tony, telling him to back off from his wife, but Daniel stops his brother. He tells Alex that they will remove the girl and render him unconscious. Tony handcuffs Alex. Stevens comes to the family and says that the security system is still broken, the windows and doors are open. Tony does not understand how Grace manages to take them out of the game when he learns that another servant is dead. The family decides to keep playing and lock the windows and doors. Everyone leaves, and Helene tells Tony that Alex has lost his way. She explains that she is just as he once feared her essence, but Alex can still do the right thing. Helene insists that the boy should lead the family. Tony is angry and says that Alex as a child saw Mr. LaBelle may not be true. Grace hears all this. She jumps out of the window outside. Grace runs into the barn. The girl notices the light from the flashlight and then sees the boy, Georgie, Emily's son. The girl is happy that it is him, but the boy pulls out a gun and shoots Grace right in the hand. Grace is angry and punches the boy in the face with her fist. Grace then stumbles and falls into a pit filled with the corpses of previous players. Grace crawls out, but is hurt. The girl runs to the gate, but is noticed. Grace climbs the gate, again injured. The family knows that she has run away. Tony panics and tells everyone that they are finished. Grace is being chased by Stevens. They are in a struggle during which Grace climbs into the car and steals it. The girl contacts the car dispatcher and asks to call the police. But the dispatcher tells her that the car is wanted and is blocked. Stevens overtakes the girl. He shoots her with a dart and she falls asleep. Stevens puts the girl in the front passenger seat, shows the family on the camera that takes her back and rejoices. Grace comes to herself and attacks the butler. The car turns over. Daniel finds Grace and catches her. Grace is attached to the pentagram symbol and prepared for sacrifice. The whole family drinks something from the sacred cup, passing it around, reciting a spell in Latin. All of a sudden, everyone starts to vomit blood and Daniel takes Grace away, saying that he poisoned the family, but not fatally. They run away, but are met in the corridor by Charity, threatening them with a gun. The girl shoots Daniel and takes his life. Grace fights with her and then runs away. Grace meets Tony, who says their family will die because of her. The girl hits the man with a lamp, then leaves, not noticing that everything around the lamp lights up and starts a fire. Alex finds his brother's body. Grace is attacked by Becky. Between them, A struggle ensues, with Grace taking Becky's life by stalking her with a game box. Alex enters the room and sees his mother's body. He says that now Grace won't want to be with him and shouts to everyone that the girl is here, holding her tight. The family begins the sacrifice again, and Alex swings a knife at Grace. The girl manages to dodge at the last moment. Suddenly, everyone understands that it is already dawn. They hang the curtains, and the room fills with light. The whole family is frozen in fear, but nothing happens. Helene still wants to deprive Grace of life, but suddenly, she explodes from within. After her, all family members, except Alex. The guy tries to apologize to Grace, but she replies that she wants to divorce and takes off the wedding ring. Alex also dies. The house burns down in a fire. Grace sees Mr. LaBelle in the fire for a second, nodding to the girl as a sign of approval. Grace sits on the porch of a burning house and smokes. The police on arrival ask her what happened. She simply replies, "In-laws." This is the American film Ready or Not, in the genres of thriller, comedy, horror, directed by Matthew Bettinelli and Tyler Gillette.